Ever feel like you make relationship goals every new year, but nothing really changes? Let's talk about how to actually make it work this time. Stay tuned.
Hey, Mr. Friends, welcome back to the Blissology Podcast,
where we bring you everything related to relationship, to love, to marriage, with a goal of creating more bliss and less stress.
That is so true. I am your girl, your host, Cece, and I'm joined by the one and only, pew, 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 pew. You know, I got to do my hubby. What's going on, babe?
I'm good, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to all of you guys. And welcome to our Blissology Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in today, this is a weekly podcast where we bring you inspiring, relatable, and relevant content every Saturday about relationship,
life, family.
Yes,
all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
And we are so glad that you are here with us today, you guys.
And listen, it's a new year, it's a new everything, and we're glad to have you guys. Now, our routines remains. Before we get into the topic of the day, we always have to share something blissful. Now, that's either something that happened to us or something that we did. We did a whole lot this week.
We did a whole lot, you guys. We did a whole lot this week, yes.
We did church, late night church, and we did New Year's Day.
Yes.
Lots of soup drinking,
yes.
Hanging out with the family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good time.
Well, yes. I mean, it's always busy for us on New Year's Day. Obviously, this year we didn't go to church on the day of, but we went to church
We haven't been to church on the day of for the last 3 years since COVID.
Yes. But we did go to church. Well, technically, part of the church that we attended led into because our church ended at midnight. A little bit after midnight.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So we kind of went to church. But on the day of, we do have our routines. Obviously, we got to visit both parents. That's been our tradition. We stop by to go see my parents, and then we always stop by to hang out at your parents. This year we ended up stopping by at your aunt's for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we added one more trip to it, and actually we picked up food at every place that we go.
Listen, the only place we didn't go was Mita's house because, you know, if we had stopped by.
We don't never go.
We don't usually go, but I'm sure because I know she did ask if we're going to stop by. Yeah, the funny part about the soup was it's called soup jumeau. Okay, this is something that we do every 1st of January. What's the reason behind it, babe?
It's our independence. That's how the slaves celebrated their freedom.
That's right.
We carried that tradition. Now, everybody makes their soup differently. Our parents, my mom makes hers, and it's different than your aunt and your mom. Mm-hmm. I know when we got home that night.
When we got home that night, we had all 3 soup lay on the counter, and we started to like judge them. Like, I was like, listen, let's do this. And the girls were really part of it. They jumped. They're like, yes, mommy, give me the spoon. So we were like tasting them.
Yeah, they all tasted different.
We taste the soup and we judge them. We give them points. Contestant number 1, contestant number 2, and contestant number 3.
Yes.
And they're like, the number 2 had this much this, and then this one had so much that.
I find myself being a food critic. I'm having to look for different tastes and.
You did.
Yeah, maybe I can go on one of those shows.
No, you're good. No, but it was fun. It was fun. I think because we had my auntie's soup part of it, that's why we did that. But I think it was fun, and the kids were like, you know what, this one I need to taste a bit more, and they kept digging into that soup, and of course. It was really fun, and I enjoyed it,
Yeah, soup has been our diet for the last few days. Soup, well, we don't have it for breakfast, but soup for lunch and soup for dinner.
Listen, it was great. I had a great time at my parents, at your parents' house. We had a good time. At my auntie's house, we had to stop by and go because it was like a, what do you call it? A doctor visit.
A quick visit.
Quick visit. So at least, we stopped by. That's all that matters.
The keys that we swung by.
We did.
We said hi.
We
did. Happy New Year. Grab some of her soup.
We don't want to start the year when we said we were going to do something. We don't do it. We made a promise a New Year's Eve when we went to church. And she's like, I'm going to be looking for you guys. I'm hoping you guys will stop by. And of course, I did say, yes, we're going to stop by.
So we stopped by.
And we stopped by.
And listen, We had a good New Year, and we want to wish
did.
all of you guys a happy New Year as well.
Yes.
I'm hoping that you find some stuff interesting to do.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure you enjoyed it with your family. Or even if you didn't get with family, at least you did something.
You did something.
And we all see the new year.
And you made it.
Now,
Listen,
I've been
just
saying
can't
this
believe
year. It's not the new year. It's just another year. It's a mindset. But
I just can't believe it's 2025 already.
it is 2025.
I just can't believe it.
I know.
I just can't believe it.
But it's here.
Again, we want to wish you guys a
We're already
happy
4 days
new
into
year,
it.
okay? A happy new year. I just cannot believe it's 2025 already.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
year flew by so fast.
It did. It's once you're in the new year, again, I'm saying we already in the 4th day. And I'm like, geez, it was just the first the other day. So the year's moving. Time waits for no one. You know, we got to be real. As soon as January hits, you know, everyone's in the new year vibes and the day just keeps moving.
Listen, I'm not on this new year, no me kind of vibe. I'm on like this new year, just a different mindset and keep moving.
Yeah. So that's why today we're going to talk about how to set real relationship goals that actually last. You know, no more New Year, same problems. We're going to help you grow together all year long. And don't worry, we're going to keep it light. We're going to keep it fun.
No pressure.
And no pressure. You know, we're just going to share our lives and our experience and our thoughts.
We're just going to keep it real 100. That's what they say, right? We're going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it that.
That is it. All right. So let's talk about how these relationship goals don't always stick. I feel like people go too hard at it.
Too fast.
Too fast as well. Like you set this big goal. You say maybe you're going to communicate better, but what does that really mean? You know, how do you actually do that?
Right. Yeah. And it's like, you know, people, we are expecting things to change overnight. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. If we're being honest. Yes, I understand. We get it. Life gets busy. We work. We got children. Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff to do.
Absolutely.
Errands to run. People to do.
I
Places
ran
to
all
go.
the errands.
Places to go. People to do. Okay, and next thing you know, those relationship check-ins turn into, we'll talk about it later. And then here's what happened when we talk about it later, and then later never comes.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
the moment that you start putting these things to the side, you start giving yourself a pass. That's how you start neglecting these goals.
Yeah.
You know, think of your relationship like going to the gym.
I agree.
You don't bench press 200 pounds on day one. You know,
Yep.
you got to start with something that's manageable, something that's in line with what you can lift. Maybe
Right.
you start with 10 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really light. But maybe you start with that. This is what you can do.
Right.
And then you gradually increase from there.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for relationship. You don't
Yes.
start with the big thing. No, you start little things.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And I think, you know, as we are still into this new year, day 4, yeah, I get it. But it's still like day 4 of this book that you're writing of the 365.
Yes.
That's how I've been looking at it. Day 1, what have I accomplished on day 1? Of course, I drink a lot of soup. You know, like day 4, what are we doing? So I'm actually writing the story or this book of this year in my mind, in my head. So therefore, it's like whatever that you're doing, just do it in small portion, in small light. It's so important for you to really, really start small. Not like, you know, oh, I got to do this and it's going to be like, it's going to happen right away. It doesn't happen overnight.
You got to give it time.
Yes.
You know, and let's kind of go into why goals actually flops. I think the key is to keep it simple.
Hey.
Let's don't overcomplicate it.
Hey.
And listen, I'm speaking from experience. I tend to like overthink of things, make it more complex. You used to give me a simple idea. I'll turn it into something complicated. When it comes to these goals, for you to not find yourself abandoning them like early on, keep them simple.
Yes. And that's somebody's message. Okay. I don't know who this is for, but I do feel it in my spirit. That's somebody's message. Your message for this year is to keep it light and simple.
Yes.
We have our own message for this year, but I think, you know, keep it simple is for someone, one of our listeners.
Yeah. And when
Keep
it comes
it
to
simple
relationship,
and light.
it does pay to keep it simple.
Yes, it does. Because when you overcomplicating things, it get crazy. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And I think too, instead of saying we need to communicate better, it's so important for you to try let's start with like a 10 minutes check-in from time to time.
Something that's doable.
Let's do 10 minutes checking every night. How about that? That's easy. That's simple. I know, man, sometimes it's hard for them to stay still and listen. But let's just do 10 minutes checking every night. Not when he's laying down. Okay, ladies, not when he's laying down.
Well, he might fall asleep.
When he's like, after dinner, let's talk. Yeah, I think that's
I think that's a good start. If communication is one of the things that's on your list. Yes. Don't just overall says, we're gonna communicate better, but how are we gonna do that? Let's start with that little thing. I like that. I'd say, and one thing I like about this is that you can track it.
Right.
You say you do 10 minutes every day, then at the end of the week you would have looked at, we spent that much time doing this. Another thing is focus on one thing at a time.
Hey.
Okay. You don't need to fix everything all at once.
You read my mind, baby.
Maybe this month you work on spending more time together.
Yes.
Next month you can go into maybe supporting each other's dreams.
Yes.
And the month after you'll figure something out. But take it one thing at a time. Give it all your energy and your focus and be good at it.
Yes, that part, baby. And listen, you guys, your goals should be teamwork, right? Not homework. I know I've been giving you homework, baby. I know I have been giving you homework.
You've been giving me work.
Goals should be teamwork, not homework. I truly feel like, I know for us ladies, we want them to do the work. Okay?
Oh, you tend to come out with a checklist. I want you to do this,
the checklist be long too.
Yeah.
And we do overcomplicate things. One thing I'm pulling back this year is to not overcomplicating things, not to give him homework, but more like,
or it gives me something to do. I'm like in the middle of it and then already something else. Oh yeah, I need this as well. Like, let me finish this one thing.
I get it. And that's why I'm actually pulling back this year, making sure that I don't just tell you, baby, what to do. Like, babe, can we do this together? Let's do it together, as opposed to me telling you, oh, I need you to go do this for me, like as a homework for you to do, and I need it by next weekend, which you've done to me too. So I'm hoping
you've given me more work than I've given you. Okay. Honest truth, she's given me more work than I've given to her. And one thing, as you mentioned, the work together. As you do this, it's not about pointing out everything that your partner is doing wrong.
Right.
It's about growing together.
You just did. You just pointed me.
No, I didn't.
Called me out.
I just said the work that you've been giving me.
You just called me out. Didn't he just call me out? Didn't he just call me out?
I apologize. But it's not about pointing out what your partner is doing. In all honesty, it's finding ways to grow together.
Right.
Learn to point out the good stuff. Believe me, there's a lot of motivation that can come when you can highlight something that someone's doing good, because that makes them want to do it even more. Because when you just keep hitting at them or at her, it takes a toll on them.
It does. And I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
Yeah. And as you work together, I'd say do your best to make it fun. Like if you want to have more date nights, write down some ideas that that you guys can take turn in picking which one to do. Keep it light and make it consistent. Don't be like me. In fact, that's one of the goals that I have for this year, is that be consistent at going into this date nights. But Cece's already picking different things. She's been sending me a list of places that we can go. That started since last year.
See, this is teamwork.
Yes. So
this is me finding the place and share it with you. Yes. That's teamwork, you guys.
Have a list of places on Google Maps.
Not homework for you to go find.
Go to, so
you see how we're working, baby?
I know we have it.
It's not homework for you to go find the place. It's literally me sending it to you. Hey, babe, listen, I don't know when you would like to take me there.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know this is a nice place.
Yes, and yes, that's a good idea, because, like, for instance, I run into roadblocks when it comes to thinking of different places to go to. But that list that I have on Google Maps, I could just say, you know what, that's the place, and we go there. But yes, so if you like to do more date nights, think of the things you could do, and obviously keep it light, keep it consistent. And don't be afraid to switch things if they're not working. Right. If something you've tried and maybe you didn't like it or your partner didn't like it, you say, you know what, maybe we're not going to do this anymore. Yeah, change it to something else. The goal is to make progress, not to be perfect.
That's right.
And that's one thing. Sometimes I think of things to do and I'm thinking of it to be like the best thing that could happen.
You do.
And I overthink it, and before you know it, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So Don't be like me. If you missed a date night or whatever activities that you were planning to do together, if you missed it last month,
right.
Don't try to think so much that you want to make whatever things you want to do this month to make up for no. Just figure out something. At least look at it this way. I missed last month, but at least this month I'm doing something.
Yeah.
So think of progress, because at the end of the day, the small steps, the small things that you do, that's what makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Just start somewhere.
That's
or
right.
do something.
Yeah.
You know, and keep it fun.
Keep it fun. Yes. Keep it fun.
Yeah.
That's something we're going to do this year. We're going to keep it fun. Okay. We're going to keep it light. That's not our words for this year. We're going to keep it fun.
Yeah. It's important to do that. You know, fun is important. But one thing I'd say when you're dealing with setting goals and finding things to do, be very mindful not to let these things become chores. Because the moment that they do, you lose the meaning of the reason why you're doing them. Because it just becomes something that you just have to do.
Be honest. No. Have that thought. Have you done that last year or the year before?
And they become chores? Yeah. In some cases, I felt like it was a burden for me to just... I got to find this. And then if I don't, I feel like, man, I'm going to get reprimanded.
And you did. And you did.
I felt it. But you know what? But it's all in the mindset. Right. And this way you should be cautious not to let yourself get into that mode of thinking. Because the moment that it's a chore, it's one of those tasks that I have to do, then you lose the overall reason why you want to do this. Because the fun gets taken out of it. Because listen, no one feels like so good about doing chores. And you feel like it's an obligations and it puts a burden on you when you get to that point. So try not to let the goals or the things that you want to do becomes chores. Right. Because you'll lose out.
Yeah, especially if it's like, you got to do it for your spouse and you feel like, man, if I don't do it, I'm going to hear from her.
And when you do things, when you do these things, don't think of it that I'm doing it for you. Yeah. Think of it that we're doing it for us. Listen, I'm speaking from the things. Yeah, sometimes I got to do this for Cece. No, doing this for us. I know Cece wants it, but I know I want it. It's just that I hadn't been giving it priority.
Right. Yeah. But I feel like if it was a choice, you wouldn't even care for it, right?
Yes, but sometimes I'm unusual in there because I get satisfied with things that are happening for me. I set the bar really low, which means there's certain things I don't think of them, but that doesn't mean they're not important, right? Because they're important for the relationship. Yeah, like spending time together. Yes, I can be by myself a whole lot and I'm okay, but it's not good for a relationship. No, right?
It's not good.
And this is where you got to think
you're not
of
a single man.
No, it's not good for.
And I think that's the problem.
If you're in a relationship with someone, you can't just be all you and you and you. You got to think of us. And this is where it may not be something that's top of mind for me. Yeah, but it's still good for the relationship. Right. So it's still important that I still do it. And when I do it, I'm not just doing it for you. I have to be doing it for us. Right. Because if it benefits the relationship, it benefits both of us.
Both of us. Yes. Okay. He's dropping gems. Listen, it's a new year, no mind, no ideas. And you fresh. So fresh and
I have to prove it though. It's not just in the words.
Listen,
I have to do the things.
Speaks louder than words. Okay. Yes. My husband is a great speaker. He's a motivational speaker.
Hey, listen. I know my weaknesses.
I told him he should have become a pastor because he's great at it.
Pastors makes a lot of money. Maybe I should.
You great at motivating
Sell
people.
the gospel.
Yeah.
I know.
You don't want to do that. We're not that type of people. We are not that type of people in this house. Okay. Yeah, and I think a lot of couples forget that part you just mentioned earlier. It's not just for my partner. It's for both of us. Yes. And I agree, because sometimes I don't think I do things where I'm thinking of it just for me. I think of it as this is for both of us.
Sometimes you think of things it's just, you leave yourself out of it and it's just for the family and you're like, oh, where do you fit in there? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes she does that. She thinks, I got to do this for this person. I got to do this for this person.
Yeah, I put you guys first.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. I do. You do that sometimes.
Most of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And then I worry about whatever is left. I get the crumbs, okay, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important what you mentioned earlier. And I hope a lot of you guys, especially men, take note from that, because when your spouse asks you to do something, it's not just for them; it's for both of you.
Yes.
That was really good,
Yes.
babe.
Like I'd say, if you're thinking of different things to do, like a month of Adventure Day. I don't know if you're the type who'd like to go do daredeviling stuff. She's not. Like, I'd like to go skydiving one day.
Your daughters would definitely go
but
with
Sissy
you.
will not go for it. So right now it's off the table, And this is me thinking big, but it doesn't have to be big. Like skydiving is a big thing, but it doesn't have to be big. Just think of.
I gotta touch the ground, babe.
Yeah, I know you're
I'm
a foot on the ground type of person.
I'm an earth girl. Yes, I need to touch the ground.
Yes, she's even afraid of driving on those overpasses on the highway.
I'm not afraid. I just don't like it. There's a difference. Yeah. I just don't like it.
I know. See, she likes to keep her feet on the ground, but I'd like to go skydiving. But don't be like me and think of the biggest thing there is. It doesn't have to be big. Mm-hmm. You just have to remember, just do something different. Maybe try a new restaurant. Maybe go in a restaurant and close your eyes and just drop your finger, whatever finger falls, and
Who
just
does
eat
that?
it. I've been wanting to do that. In fact, I've done it a couple of times. I just have the menu and then I just close my eye and drop my finger, and wherever it falls, I eat whatever's there. Now, Sissy won't do that.
Not me, sir. I pay for it, so I gotta make sure I enjoy it. Show me pictures.
You can do a number of things. Just think of things you could do. Like maybe take a drive. Again, we've taken drives, but always have a destination at hand. But sometimes you can just take a drive.
Yeah.
Maybe binge watch something. Think of the things that you can do together.
Right.
Because all these things, when you find yourself doing these things, it helps strengthen your relationship. And when you say, you're setting goals for your relationship to get closer, to get better at certain things, those are the little things that's going to allow you to do that.
Right. Yes, I love that. And I think another thing you can add is game night.
Okay.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Or the weekend, where you and your spouse just have your own little game nights, not including the girls. Because one thing we've done, we've had family game nights.
Yes. Gotta do something that we can keep the kids at.
Yeah.
Something that's adult.
Well, there's this game on Amazon, which I am going to get this month. And I think you're going to like it. It's very fun and interesting. Like, you literally ask your partner questions and see how much your partner knows about you. And it's fun, you guys. It is really fun. I've seen it. It's been on my cart since last year.
Okay.
And I never got it. So I'm going to get it. And once I get it, listen, once I get it, I'm going to share it with you guys. And listen, it's a great game. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to do something fun. I think, with this new year, it's good to add something. Like, what is it about me and my husband or my wife or my boyfriend, my fiance, whatever, that can get us closer together?
Yeah. Stop building little little things that only you do, things that's for you and you and your partner, things that you can enjoy and put it on the calendar. Have it like there's something we've been doing for our girls. Like every night it's Friday night, and that's been going on for the last, I don't know
10
how
years
long
plus.
now.
Yeah,
it's been going for so long I forgot how. But things like this, because it become routine for us, it just happens.
And it's about creating little moments that is so special.
Like we have certain holidays rituals, like this holiday that comes. There's things that we do. So, and you'll find as you start creating those things that you do, if it's a game night where you have different games that you play, have that time dedicated for that, and you find you know that when that time comes, this is it. Kids out of the way. It's all about mommy and daddy.
Right.
Or if you're not married, whatever you call yourself, it's about you during that time.
Right. You and your spouse. Yes, and I think it's good. It's something that you look forward to, that you definitely look forward to, and it absolutely keeps you guys fresh. Listen, keep the relationship fresh. Okay,
it helps keeping you connected without making it feel like it's work.
That's true.
And if you happen to miss it, it's no biggie. No one's gonna reprimand you. You're not being punished if maybe you skip it, maybe something came up. No. Because
why look at me?
I'm just saying. But you know,
I saw the look.
when you make it feel like it isn't work, it allows you to be free and handling. However, you can't just keep skipping it, and before you know it, it become non-existent.
Right.
No, just maybe if you miss it, just pick it back up next week and just do it. But do it for the fun you get from it, not for the fact that I have to do it because if I miss it this week, it's a problem.
Right.
You know?
I agree. I agree.
The point is to have fun.
Yes.
It's to have fun while you grow together.
Yes.
You know, this new year gives us a chance to create new memories. And only you and your partner can make it happen.
Right. Right.
That's it.
That's true. That's true. I agree.
Yeah. Now, we talk about you doing things, but how do you make sure that you stay on track? Because setting the goals are easy. I'm talking about easy. I can sit here and we'll put it on paper. We talk about all the things you want to do. But sticking to them, that's where the challenge comes in. And, you know, it gets tricky. I think the hardest part is making sure that you don't turn into each other's personal coach.
Why are you looking at me?
Listen, I'm just saying, make sure you don't turn into each other's personal coach.
Why are you looking at me, babe?
Because you find you'll have a lecture to this person whenever something don't quite happen the way. You'll just sit them and lecture them down.
I feel like you're talking to me. And I think you get tired of me. Because I am that personal coach, that's business coach, that spiritual coach.
Yeah.
That, what else?
Everything is some kind of teaching moment.
Well, yeah, that's life.
No, it shouldn't be this way. Because before you know it, you become a burden on this person.
I get it.
It happens. So, and we all have our shortcomings. But I'll tell you, when you're a personal coach to someone, you don't have any shortcomings because you see all the things this person is not doing, and you dare to point it out and holding him accountable and give him your peace of mind.
Maybe you were just trying to help you do better. How about that?
Yes, it's helping. It's helping. And I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing, but don't let it become a mentor and a mentee relationship. The moment that it gets to that point, you no longer in a relationship. Because mentor-mentee relationship are very different than boyfriend and girlfriend.
I can't be a mentor
husband
to
and
my
wife.
husband. He'll curse me out.
No. and this is where you have to be mindful as to not let yourself become a coach to that person. Now, that doesn't mean you can't help this person. But if every moment you got a speech for them, they get tired of it.
I kind of feel like you were getting tired of me the other day. I kind of feel like, because all of a sudden, you guys, all of a sudden I hear nothing. You were driving, coming from work, and I'm on the phone talking to you, and I started coaching you on something, and then all of a sudden I hear nothing.
I was listening.
I think you weren't listening. I
was listening.
Whatever.
I was being
I think
very
you just
attentive.
like, yeah, sure, baby. While you were driving? Okay, sure. Yes. So sometimes you can tell if your spirit tells you, you know what, he ain't listening to you. He knows what you're about to say. He's not listening. And I get it.
I think it's about the vibe.
I agree.
You know, instead of being like, you forgot to plan this date night. This is why it's so important. We've talked about this, and this is how this impact. No, be something like, you know what? I miss hanging out. I want to do something this week. Where can we go? Or you know what? I'd like to go to this place. Let's go there this week. As opposed to last week you didn't go out or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Because if it becomes a coaching moment where not only you're going to point out it didn't happen, but you're going into details. There's how many times you've missed it. This is what we promised to do. This is how this impact our relationship. This is why you need to do this. Otherwise it's going to become a problem. Then you're like, what the hey?
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So
I agree. Well, I don't do that to you.
No, you don't. I'm just pointing out. That.
Sometimes I'll say, you know, babe, the last time we had a date was, you know, this while ago.
Yeah.
And then I don't say it to hurt your feelings. I just sometimes, you know, I know we both busy on the weekend, especially me if I have a client, if I have showings, it is what it is. So therefore I get it. However, I do give him grace. You know, I give him grace when I do understand.
Grace with some coaching.
I do get it. Yes, grace with some coaching. That's a new name for me. Grace with some coaching. And I'm gonna give you both, and you need both. You need both in your life. And I think, sometimes we messed up,
Yeah, we all can slip up. Hey, listen, none of us are perfect.
And I know sometimes you think I see it as a big deal. Yes, I do sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you. I do sometimes because I feel like, it's important.
Yes.
It get us closer. It's something that, I love, get up and go and dress and go out to dinner and have a good time. I look forward to that. But when it doesn't happen, I'm like, you know what? It's no big deal. But deep down inside, it's a big deal. I'm like, who am I kidding? It is a big deal. We tend to be okay with it and then deep down inside and we're not okay with it. And that's the problem.
Yeah. And this is where the way that we approach certain things makes a difference. Mm-hmm. And when someone says, you know what, I'm going to communicate better.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's finding ways that however you approach this is not putting a wedge between the two of you.
Right.
Because sometimes, listen, some of us act with emotions. I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
That doesn't mean I don't get emotional. It's just that I don't let my emotion dictates the choice of words I make. I would feel something and then I will take a moment and then I'll find a proper response. Mm-hmm. That's me.
Right.
And I know Cece, she's different than I am. Mm-hmm. And I'm not faulting her for it. We're just different. So, but the way that we approach things, the way that we address things, especially things that we feel so passionate, so deeply about. You guys have heard us talk about date night very often in this podcast. Is because she is passionate about it. She feels it's crazily important in the relationship. Although sometimes it's her own plans that throws things off. But she rarely admits that it's her own plan that throws it.
But I be like, babe, we have Sundays. And he's like, no, we're going to keep Saturdays. And I'm like, babe, it's 2 days.
I don't like going out on Sundays. And I know she doesn't like going out on Sundays either.
I do go out. I go to church.
Sunday is not like a going out day for us. We can. But it's not the because listen, we gotta get home at a certain time, just get the kids ready because they have school the next day. I have work the next day. So I know we've talked about potentially move things over to the next day, and that doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's a whole different.
It just it feels awkward.
It's Sunday's not our going out day, especially when she talks about self-care Sunday. She hasn't been doing. Imagine that I keep taking her out on Sundays. Now, I'll be the reason why self-care doesn't happen. Now, I do my best for self-care to happen on Sunday.
Oh, we're going to do that
But she let her own thing gets in the way, not me.
I do.
Self-care Sunday, I mean, it's been last year. I made sure that Sundays, nothing's on her. But she found her own stuff to keep her busy.
Yeah, didn't really have much of self-care Sunday last year.
So, but, however you look at it, you got to look to see what's, obviously we talk about what we talk about here, but that doesn't mean we don't find ways to still enjoy each other. We still do. But I know the commitment that I'm making this year is those date nights we've been talking about, because they're important to her. I am making sure that even her plans should not interfere with that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be a battle, but I'm getting myself ready to fight the fight.
I can see that.
I got to fight for that date night. I got to fight for them. Because I'm being accountable for them.
And here's the thing. Mm-hmm. You're not going to miss any month this year.
No, I don't intend to.
And we're going to vlog it. Make sure you guys are holding them accountable. When you don't see a date night on a certain month, you're going to be like, hey, what happened, you guys?
I'm going to make it happen. And I'm ready to fight that fight. I am.
I can see that. Mm-hmm. I can see you ready to fight that fight.
Yeah. Someone beat me up so much last year for not going out on those date nights.
Not just last year, the year before.
Man, I got scars to show for it.
2022, 2023, 2024.
I felt like I've been beaten up more last year than any other years.
You know the year that I really feel like there was no date night whatsoever?
Which year?
2019.
2019 was an unusual year.
Okay.
We're going to cross it off the calendar.
Yeah.
We're going to.
A lot happened in that year.
As we deal with all these things, these blames, these me not doing things, you got to think of it. At the end of the day, it's about being partners, not judges. You know, find ways to encourage each other and make it fun. You know, have fun with it. And you got to remember the small wins, the little things that you do that adds up to the big things. Like I'll tell you, Cece and I looked at last year, we've done a number of little things with each other. You know, the support we provided for each other,
We did.
both emotionally, physically, the things that we do for the kids, the decisions we made together, the things that we've grown, the things that we've learned together. We've done a lot of small stuff.
Yeah, we have.
And we try not to forget them. Yes, she'll coach me on stuff.
I will.
And sometimes I'll throw a little thing here and there that we do. And she's like, yeah, you're going to bring this up. But
Babe.
I got to defend myself.
I'm going to coach you. I'm going to coach you until you get it right. I'm a certified life coach. I'm going to coach you.
Yes, I know. She can't help it.
It's in my nature.
You know, we've learned not to sweat the small stuff. I know you guys probably hear us going at it and so forth. Yes, in a relationship, you can't ignore things. Because if you do, then you're creating other problems.
Right.
But we try not to sweat them to the point where they're causing issues with us. Because we've done a lot of small things that adds up. That allows us to be here today.
Right.
You know, sometimes Cece spent a whole day trying to prep for the podcast. And then I got home, we take a look at it, and then we get ready and get it out. Those are all the little things that we do to support each other.
Right.
You know, sometimes I stay up late in the wee hours of the day getting things done. So we've done a lot of stuff to support each other. And you got to look at your life and see, okay, what are the little things that I'm doing that are making a difference in this relationship?
Yeah.
You know, and the goal itself is to grow together. And when you take all these small things, you put them together, believe me, you will see growth. So don't stress each other out. Now, between Cece and I, it takes a whole lot to stress me out. A lot more to stress me out than it does hers. And I know that. So you got to understand your partner.
That's right.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, so, hey, listen, we talked about a whole lot of stuff today about, you know, setting the goals and staying on track with it, how to make sure that you find little things to do to grow into whatever you want to make your relationship to be this year, 2025. You know, and in today's episode, I know we covered a lot of those stuff, but if there's one thing you want to take away from this episode, it's the small steps makes a big difference. You don't have to do it all at once. Just start somewhere and stay consistent.
That's right.
I know the starting can be the easiest thing to do. Remaining consistent is where the challenges come, but it's doable.
That's right.
You know, relationships aren't about being perfect. I've had my problems with perfection, but it's not about that. It's about showing up and trying the best you can every chance you're given.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and if you're setting goals for your relationship this year, you know, we'd like to know what you're setting. We'd love to hear how you're working on it. And hit us up and tag us or send an email to CC, find us on social media and DM us. We'd like to hear, because I know these things could be challenging. And if you're working on a goal, share it with us. Maybe we can learn from you. Maybe we can give some insight, but we'd like to hear what you're doing, because this, as we mentioned on our last podcast, it gives you a fresh start. You get the reset button where you can reset things, start fresh and set goals and share that with us. We'd like to hear what you're working on. If you're running into challenges, by all means, share it. Now, you know, we all in it together. And we want to be there to support you throughout the rest of the year. So definitely share what's going on with you and take care of each other as you do it.
Yeah.
You know, the goal is to be there for each other and be supportive as much as we can, because that goal in that relationship is not just one person's goal. It's both of you.
That's right.
And you both has to be in it.
That's right.
So we appreciate you guys joining us on the podcast. You know, please take care of yourself. Please stay blessed. And let's make this year our best one yet.
And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone that you know needs to hear this.
Yeah. And again, you know, we appreciate you all.
Yes.
And we'll see you in the next
Saturday.
one. Yes.